What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kings Court podcast with me, Vincent Miracle, here for fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, Houndsports.com, and of course, SacKingsNation.com. So be sure to go all four of those websites for all your daily Kings news. Now, yes, guys, I know. It's been a month since the last Kings Court episode, and everyone's like, what happened? What happened? Trust me, the Kings Court's not over. Not even by a little bit. So here's the thing. I'm going to put the image up, or it should be popping up in just a second, and the audio is going to get cut off because I don't know how to make it blend through the YouTube channel or like that or whatever. But yeah, so the logo that you're going to see in 3, 2, 1 now. Yeah, that logo right there, I'm going to start putting that on sweaters. That's the Sac Kings Nation logo for basically the Kings Court and everything like that. I'm going to start putting that on sweaters and start doing that for giveaways. I have a Sacramento Kings basketball stuff I'm going to start giving away. You know, a lot more giveaways are going to come during this offseason. I think this offseason is going to be very, very interesting. So be on the lookout for things like that. Another reason why this podcast has kind of been on like a little bit of a hiatus. I'm like, why hasn't it been on for like the last month or whatever? Why hasn't there been no new content on SacKingsNation.com? Well, it's because I was doing a lot of other things. I've been trying to, get my writing more tuned up a little bit with more description and things like that. And then also on top of that, I had to start a whole new podcast. So I'm also doing an NBA podcast. Now, the name is going to start getting changed a little bit because this is actually the last show I will be doing for Hound Sports. So Hound Sports won't be sponsoring the Kings Court anymore. That'll be done. And so Fanside's going to take on a little bit more of it, and so is SacKingsNation.com. So those are going to be the two big places, three basically, because Fanside, Golden Gate Sports, and Sac Kings Nation are going to be the three big shows that we're going to do sponsorings from. So definitely be on the lookout for things like that. So yeah, Hound Sports is done, but I did start a new podcast. My co-host is Connor Renfro. He was a writer for fansided.com. He covers the Atlanta Hawks. He covers the LA Lakers. He covers, a little bit of everything around in the NBA. So he's on the show with me. Excuse me. I think every time I do a show, something like with my mouth and stuff like that, I always find a way to like go, excuse me. I just now kind of noticed that. Anyways, so Connor Renfro, he's the co-host on my NBA show. Now, the name is going to be changed. It was the NBA Hounds podcast. That's going to be changed because, like I said, Hound Sports and I, we separated. So Hound Sports and I are not going to no longer be doing any podcasts. This is going to be the last podcast I actually do for them as of the Kings Court, and the NBA Hounds is now going to be canceled. So what that means is that not only am I going to be doing this show, but I'm also going to be doing another NBA podcast show that covers the entire, aspects of the NBA. Meaning playoffs, the Kevin Durant injuries, Nash retiring, things like that. So definitely look out for that. I'll put a link in the description below to my other YouTube channel that you guys can become subscribers to. We're going to start having guests from ESPN Radio on the show. So, it's going to be really, really cool. Guests for this show, they're going to keep coming. I'm going to get James Ham back on here. I know how much everybody likes having him on the show, mainly because he does cowbellkingdom.com, where a lot of you guys get that information. I've talked to guys from, Sacktown Royalty. Hopefully I can get one of those guys on. I'm trying to get one of the Rise guys on. They're on the ESPN Radio. I'm trying to get one of them on. So yeah, I'm definitely moving in the right direction. So no, I wasn't like stopping the Kings Court. I just had so much on my plate to do an episode these past months has been crazy. I've also been spending time with my daughter. My daughter, she's over a year old. So, she's like 1 year and 8 months. I don't know how many months that is exactly, but she's 1 year old and 8 months now. So yeah, I've just been kind of being a dad, trying to do a little bit of everything here and there. Also, the show, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this visual thing. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys like seeing just me? And then usually I'll have my, Sacramento Kings banner in the background. Do you guys actually like that, seeing, a visual podcast because this is on YouTube? Or is it better when I can just have it just audio? So you guys let me know. Comment section below. Another thing about the show is that it's only going to be on Sundays. So Sundays are going to be the show. They're going to be live again. They are going to be live again. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So every Sunday, time is still going to be determined But this will probably be the last time it's going to be a pre-recorded show, which I'm very, very excited for because I love doing live shows. I think live shows like kind of test you a little bit more because you have to think more on your feet. If something happens, you guys are going to see me mess up just as much as anybody else. Like, it takes a lot of time for me to edit it all out and stuff like that. So it's going to be really, really cool to see it. But so Sundays, they are going to be on. I don't know a time yet. I'm still working on that. Giveaways. Like I said, I'm going to be getting those Sac Kings Nation sweaters out. I'll probably even put it on a t-shirt. You guys find a way to win one of those. I'm going to try and start getting Kings tickets for next season. So definitely, the Kings score is definitely moving in the right direction. I'm excited to tell you guys all about that. I'm giving you guys insight into what it all is. Like, I don't care about telling you guys that I hung out with my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, that was something I needed to do. Was spend time with her, spend time with the family. Easter's coming up. So this upcoming Sunday, there is going to be no episode. There's not going to be an episode this upcoming Sunday. So it's the following Sunday where live shows begin. And I need you guys to comment in the comment section below or tweet me on Twitter at VmCenter to let me know if you guys like the visual point of it or if you guys really don't care or, if, you would rather just have it straight audio. And I'm even going to start putting these on back on Spreaker and also on SoundCloud. And I'm also going to see about putting it on iTunes. So definitely, like I said, I keep saying definitely because it's definitely happening. I'm moving in that right direction, guys. The Kings Court's moving in the right direction. I'm excited for the future of it. And I just need you guys to just keep being the great supporters that you are. Keep being the great Kings fans that you are. And, I'm just excited for this movement that's going on as I'm going to go over here and take a little swig out of my Dutch Bros. If you guys haven't had Dutch Bros yet, definitely go try it. I recommend an Annihilator blended. That's hot, but only because I was cold this morning. Get an Annihilator blended. I do a chocolate cup, whipped cream, chocolate drizzle. That's my thing to drink. I love to drink it. I love coffee. I'm like not a morning person without it. Although I am taping this in the morning, so I guess I am kind of a morning person, but I also have my cup of coffee. So 2 and 2 knock each other out. Anything else I got? Oh, live shows again. Speaking about live shows, I will be doing a live show after Easter, that first live show. I'll be doing it at the Quality Shop. And for those who don't know, for quality clothes at a quality price, go to the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville. They're now a boutique and bar. What's it called? A boutique and bistro. I couldn't remember the word. Boutique and bistro. So when you're shopping for clothes, you can also get a nice cup of joe there. Speaking of coffee, although I just supported Dutch Bros, I definitely recommend you go there. And they even have a drink called a Backyard Boogie. So definitely go try that out. It's great. It's delicious. And so we'll be doing live shows there as well. I got the owner who's a good friend of mine. His name is Capone. He's gonna be letting me do shows there. And so whenever there's a live show there, you guys can come over, come check out the Quality Shop. I believe he's gonna start doing discounts there too. I will have the right amount of the discount. I think it's gonna be like 15 to 25% off. One of the two. Whenever I do a live show there, and also if you guys come and you're supporters of the Kings Court, I'll put you on the podcast. I'll have a mic waiting for you. I'll ask you a couple questions and stuff like that, and you guys can be on the show. I can get all your guys' inputs and things like that. So that's kind of my big news, guys. So I'm going to be doing live shows at different locations, mostly the Quality Shop, but I'm going to try and bring in more sponsors, like maybe like a Subway or things like that. I'm going to start getting more people in here. I'm trying to get this more involved. I have the Sac Kings Nation sweaters getting made. I'm going to start giving those away on the show. I'm going to try and get tickets. I'm going to try and get more guests. I'm starting the NBA Hounds, or we're going to change the name because it's going to be a fan-sided network type of podcast. So, if you guys can think of a name for another podcast, remember I did the Bounce podcast out, but it didn't really like catch on the way it did, and I still had, a ton of personal issues going on at the time that happened, so I couldn't keep that one going. I like, you'll like Connor Renfro. Definitely go check it out. Look in the description below and check out our first 2 episodes. And those first 2 episodes, it grew from one week to the next. So the first episode I have only 60 views on it. And remember, I didn't put it on this network because it's not the Kings Court. It's completely different. So first episode we did on just, the new channel that we made it on is just called Vince M. But like I said, I'll put the description I'll put the information in the description below, but it's called NBA Hounds. Episode 1 had 60 views in 3 weeks. Okay, we just did an episode. I keep hitting my microphone, my bad. And so now we just did an episode last week. We did it on Sunday. And because also those shows are tapes on Sunday, so I'm just killing two birds with one stone on Sundays. On Sundays, I'm one busy guy. So last week we did an episode on Sunday, and it's already at like 55, 50, 60 views, in 1 week. So that's one of the big differences is that show is already growing. In 3 weeks it got to 60. Now in just 1 week it got to 60. You know what I mean? So and then from there I want it to be in like 3 days it got to 60, so that it keeps getting better. And that's exactly what we did this show. I don't know if you guys remember. I used to do this show with an iPad, and it used to look up at me, and y'all would be able to see in my nose, and I'm talking down like this. For those who are original like Kings Court podcast followers, like that's what it was. I had literally 2 subscribers, only getting 10 views. Now if I throw up an episode, look, we're getting to like 100 views, and that's because of you guys. That's because of you, the fans. I completely appreciate it. Like, you don't understand how much I completely appreciate it. It's awesome. I thank you guys all for it so much for being those supporters. Now, this show, like I said, this is more of an informational show, but I wanted to get into something, and I threw it up on the Kings app. And for those who don't know, I am on the Kings app as well as Twitter, and all my names on every single one of those is VmCenter. And I got asked this before: why is it VmCenter? Oh, I'm a dork, and I love Sports Center. And where do you go to for all things sports? You go to the Sports Center. Well, where do you go when you want to hear all things Vince Miracle news? The VmCenter, Vince Miracle Center. That's what it came from. So for those who keep asking me, that's what it's about. But so yeah, the one topic I'm going to get into today, and we're going to have more topics going forward, is and I posted on Twitter, is what you guys want me to talk about? Did you guys want me to talk about draft prospects and my favorite few players for the draft, or DeMarcus Cousins and his possible chance of leaving next season? And some of you guys took it literally as if I was saying like Cousins is going to opt out of his contract, or he's just going to walk away and not play. No, what I meant by Cousins leaving next season is him demanding a trade. Because there's a lot of rumors going around right now about, everything I'm looking at right now, by the way, is like I'm looking at the lighting to see how it goes, because this isn't the camera I usually use. I'm using the actual computer camera, and you can tell it's not really that good. And so I have a little computer over here on the side, and I have like my little information bar over here. So if you hear clicking and stuff, it's because I have my computer over here, as well as I'm doing the show right here in front of you. So this is us, computer, lighting, and I'll usually have a better camera on the top of this laptop, so that's why it's normally more clear than this, but I didn't have the camera today. But yeah, so a lot of you guys took it literally as if I meant, he's just going to walk away. No, what I meant was he's going to demand a trade. And there's a lot of rumors and a lot of speculation going around right now that, he hated being the scapegoat. I mean, the front office made him be the scapegoat, why they didn't hire, Coach Carl right away, and I thought that was ridiculous. There's rumors going around that he just doesn't fit George Karl's system correctly, and things like that. So it's completely up and down. You don't know what's gonna happen, and they're not winning games. And if anyone has been watching and following DeMarcus Cousins' career, winning has been a big part of what he wants. He wants to be a winning team. College, he didn't win a championship. Now he goes into Sacramento, and they're a joke of a franchise. And so, I mean, in the NBA, I'm not saying they're a joke of a franchise in general, but in the NBA right now, because of the way we've been playing, it's what, 9 years now, 7, 8, 9 years since the Kings have even seen a playoff game. So he comes in there, he's going into his new contract, his 4th year, or he's in his 4th year, and the team still isn't doing anything. They're still in the rebuilding stages, and now they have pieces, Rudy Gay, Darren Collison, and him, and DeMarcus. That's a pretty good trio right there, and we saw them winning games. They get rid of his head coach, Coach Michael Malone. They get Ty Corbin. They get rid of Ty Corbin, bring in Coach Carl. 3 coaches in one season. That's ridiculously crazy. You think of, what he's had to go through. Viral meningitis, missing out on a few weeks of the season. I believe he missed like 9 games. You have him with the ankle injuries. this has been one of the biggest roller coaster rides of a season that I think most Kings fans were even expecting before the season began. Because, I mean, you think about it, and they were winning games. Remember at one point in the beginning of the season, and I keep bringing this up, they were the sports world was basically talking about how the Kings could possibly be a playoff team. They're like, oh, yeah, that they could possibly be an 8th seed. They're playing really good right now. Cousins definitely playing as an all-star. And now they're right back into being, one of the jokes of the league. I mean, and that sucks to say, being Kings fans. Like, I am a Kings fan. And it sucks to say, but yeah, the Sacramento Kings are a joke of the league right now. I mean, they're, whether we want to believe it or not, because we have these star players in Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins, they're really not that much better than Philly. They're a lot better than the New York Knicks, but they're not, winning-wise, they're not. They're not that much better. And so when you put that all together and you've been following, the Cousins mindset is, I want to win. And I just posted an article on SacKingsNation.com. You guys can definitely go check that out. Look it up there, and it's just titled, Is DeMarcus Cousins still the Kings' future? Or is still the future of the Kings? And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he demanded for a trade. I wouldn't be surprised if either Rudy Gay or DeMarcus Cousins is traded this offseason. One of the two are going to be traded. I really do believe so. And the one player that I think they're going to go after, and I think this is going to be kind of a hit on Darren Collison, I think they go over to Ty Lawson. Now, think about this trade, and I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying that during the trade deadline part of the season, like towards in February or whatever, there was rumors that, Cousins was going to be traded for Ty Lawson. Remember that rumor? Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there are rumors that Carl was willing to, trade Cousins for, Ty Lawson or things like that. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to think about. Mainly because Cousins is known as one of the top 5 players in the NBA today. So to see him start, possibly getting traded after just inking his, hands on a new deal over the offseason, as I'm typing in something over here. Sorry about that. But yeah, so you see Cousins, and I'm trying to look up who wrote that piece and that rumor about the George Karl possibly wanted to trade Cousins. But yeah, it's one of those things where I know I don't, how do I put this? If I had to be a person who made a decision between Rudy Gay and Cousins, of course you choose Cousins, right? But in the system that they want to run with this up-paced offense, and they're hell-bent on it, this front office, and George Karl's system has never really shown to be, big man-oriented. I don't know, man. I can see it's a tough call, and I really don't even know how to put it into words. I was gonna say, if you put a gun in my head, who would you choose? And I couldn't even tell you. Like, do you go with Rudy Gay, who's been putting up numbers lately? Do you go with Cousins, who's been putting up big numbers lately? But they're still not winning games. They were on a 4-game winning streak, and it got to an abrupt halt against New Orleans when they lost by like 20. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I give it an 80% chance. No, I'll lower that down. I'll give it to 70. I'll do 70-30. There's a 70% chance either DeMarcus Cousins or Rudy Gay will be traded come next season. One or the other. I'll give it a 70% chance. I don't think they both stay on. I think they get rid of one of them. And if they want to bring in more assets, I think you get a lot more from DeMarcus Cousins. And I even wrote it in the piece, like, you think about players like, or teams like New York or Boston or even Denver. When you think about those type of teams, New York, they're arguably have the number 1 pick in the draft. Boston, they have a ton of draft picks. So I think when you go for those type of teams, those are the teams that are like, here, you want to build for the future, here's what you can get out of it. And if the Kings can keep their draft pick, and it's top 10 protected, so as long as they're in that top 10, keep 2 top draft picks, and we'll get into the draft on the next episode. That could be something, Jahlil Okafor or Karl Anthony Towns. What if the Knicks get the number 1 pick? Would you take the number 1 pick and maybe like 1 or 2 other players on their D-League squad? No offense to the New York Knicks fans, but on their D-League squad, and get rid of Cousins. I mean that would be building. Or even with Boston, the same thing. Like, would you trade away Cousins for multiple draft picks? Because that's what they have. New York and Boston, they have draft picks. That's what they have. Mainly Boston has the draft picks, but New York is arguably the number 1 draft pick. Same with Philly. Philly's the same thing. Or you can go to someone like Denver. They have more of assets. They have more of like Ty Lawson, Kenneth Faried, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari. They have certain type of players, and I think there's other teams that are like that. So I don't know. I do 70-30 on Rudy Gay or DeMarcus Cousins being traded. I couldn't tell you right now which one of the two would be. You keep Cousins. I think Cousins is the future. But is he the future in this new system? And that's what I don't know. That's such a hard decision. You guys leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. I know some of you guys are going to completely disagree with me. I know it. You're going to probably say, I've had people call me idiots before, and I don't care. You guys are probably going to be like, Vince, you're an idiot. Are you serious right now? Cousins is the future. He's not going anywhere. But there are going to be some of you that might agree. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Who do you think goes? Who do you think stays? Does DeMarcus Cousins ask for a trade? And I think if he does, no matter what, I think the front office will give it to him. I don't think they'll hesitate. I think as long as they find a deal that is right, they will trade him. I think they'll respect his wishes. But do you see Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins coming back together again next season? Do you see that happening? Leave your comments in the comment section below. And until, after Easter, guys, that's when the next show will be. We're going live, like I said. Maybe I'll have T-shirts ready for you guys by then. So maybe I'll do a couple giveaways. And so definitely be on the lookout for that. So that is our episode for the day. For those who don't know, you guys can follow me on Twitter, like I said, at VmCenter. See all my writing and things like that at SacKingsNation.com and fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com. No longer HoundSports.com, HoundSports.com. It was, much appreciated for you guys throwing this show out there. I appreciate it very, very much. And so, yeah. Do I have anything else to throw in there before I let you guys go? I don't think so. All right, guys. So if you guys have any questions, follow me on Twitter. I'm at VmCenter. Hit the like button right there, so it helps me out. Lets me know that you guys still like these episodes. If you haven't become a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button. That helps us out a lot over here in the Sac Kings Nation corner, in the Kings Court corner. Become a subscriber to the other podcasts as well. Like I said, NBA Hounds. We're gonna change the name. I don't know to what yet, but for right now, it's called the NBA Hounds Podcast. Click on that link in the description below. Go check that out. Let us know what you guys think. Become a subscriber to that channel as well. Hit the like button on that channel as well. Follow Connor Renfro, who's my co-host on the NBA Hounds podcast. He covers many different parts of the league. He is on Twitter at Renfro. Connor Renfro is spelled RENFRO. Connor CONNOR. So follow him on Twitter. Again, me on Twitter at VmCenter. Shows Sunday. We will be going live. Like button, subscribe, and until next time, Kings fans, bye-bye.